Whether you're a coach, you want to be a coach, or you want to hire a coach, you're in for a real treat. Today, I'm going to show you a very simple but much overlooked understanding that when you get this, it will move you so much closer to what it is you want. Keep watching. This is Life Mastery Gym. I'm Damon Card, and I teach people just like you cutting-edge NLP processes and techniques to help you take charge of your life and create the destiny that you want. So if that sounds good, please click subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can get these videos on a regular basis. So many coaches miss this simple step, and it should be the first step in any coaching process, especially if you're an NLP coach. Because when you get this, you are already halfway to creating the life that you want and getting whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. When I finally got this and I started using it in my life and in my coaching, it changed everything. And as a little bonus, this can actually be used in sales and persuasion. Actually, it should be used in sales and persuasion. Make sure you stay tuned to the end of this video because I'm going to show you a unique opportunity to get in on a live free training that I'll be doing online next week. Now, before I get into this, I'm curious about you. Are you a coach? Do you want to become a coach? Or are you looking to hire a NLP coach? Let me know in the comments below. No one's going to spend money on coaching unless there's something that they want. So we can all assume that if someone is going to a coach, it's because they want something. But the problem is that rarely do coaches really spend enough time understanding what it is their client wants. They spend a lot more time focusing on the problem, probably because the client is more focused on the problem and trying to solve it. So what coaches often do is they too focus most of their time on the problem, and they also eagerly throw NLP processes and techniques at the situation, thinking that it can just magically solve it. This approach can actually work. In fact, it's probably how most NLP coaches spend the first few years of their coaching. They just take processes and techniques and basically throw it at their client until something appears to work. And like most NLP coaches, that's what I did for the first few years. But it was very sloppy and very haphazard, and it took a lot longer to get effective results. What I recommend is being a lot more precise and spending a lot more time gathering information. And when you do this, as the client is giving you more and more information about what it is they want, they start to connect with it even more, and they have a better understanding and a clearer understanding about what it is that they want. So they naturally start to gravitate toward it. And at that point, all you basically have to do is give them a nudge. On top of that, NLP processes and techniques are so much easier to use and so much more effective when you have your client focused on what it is that they want and connecting with what it is that they want. I've found this way of doing things to be the fastest and most effective way to get results for my clients. But not only do I use it on my clients, I also use it on myself. Whenever there's something I want or something that I want to achieve, I use this same process of getting very, very clear about what it is that I want and not so much focused on what the problem is. What the client wants, or if you're using this on yourself, what you want is far more important than the problem itself. The reason for this is we are naturally hardwired to move away from pain, move away from suffering, rather than move toward what it is that we want. We feel more incentive to move away from pain and suffering than it is to move toward gaining something or getting more of something positive that we want. I only recommend focusing on the problem when it gets in the way of focusing on what it is that you want. So you might be thinking, well, what do you mean by that? So the first session with any new client that I go through is I start off by asking what it is that they want. And whatever answer they give me, I drill down on that much, much more. With whatever answer they give me, I will ask them, well, what is important about that? Or what will that do for you once you have it? And I will keep going on this line of questioning until my client is literally out of answers. And yes, we will go in loops, and they sometimes will get irritated, and they sometimes will get a little bit bored by it. A lot of coaches won't take their clients that far in that direction or go that deep with them because they're afraid of irritating and boring their clients, which, like I said, can happen. But you're doing this for what it is the client wants. You're doing this as for the best interest of your client. And so I would sometimes even tell them, this is going to get redundant. This might seem a little bit boring. Feel free to stop me and ask me what it is that I'm doing. I will explain it to you. And most of the time when I pre-frame it like that, I don't get any pushback on it. And so the person will go with me and will take that deeper journey into what it is that they want. Most of the time though, it doesn't go so smoothly where they're so clear about what it is they want. They're not usually clear about the questions that I'm asking them. What normally happens is when I first ask them what it is they want, they tell me exactly what they don't want. And so I'll have to tell them, okay, I understand that's what you don't want. And this is exactly what you want to do with your clients. You want to say, I understand that's what you don't want. What do you want instead? And you might spend an entire session just helping your client get clear about what it is that they want, because this is something they've never really put much thought to. And this is why they're having a problem, and this is why they're limited. This is why they're not getting what they want, is because they have no sense of it. They're only focused on what it is that they don't want. They're only focused on what it is that they're trying to move away from. So when I say I only focus on the problem when it gets in the way, is when this sort of resistance comes up, or if any resistance at all comes up, or they start getting more focused on what it is they don't want. To me, that is the problem. So I keep refocusing them in the direction of what it is that they do want. Throughout this process, what you're doing is you're helping your client finally connect with the values that he or she is trying to get. Or if it's a set goal, it's maybe a material object, or achieving some sort of goal, you always want to go deeper than just what they tell you. And so you're going deeper into it, asking them more and more about what it is that they want. And in that process, for them to have to go inside and search for these answers, it connects them with this. It connects them with what motivates them. It connects them with what those values are, and pushes them in a positive direction. So your job is to really help your client cultivate a vision, a sort of a target for what it is that they want, for the direction that they want to move in. And this alone can sometimes solve the entire problem. If it doesn't, you're at least halfway there. Before I wrap this up and bring everything together and show you exactly why this is so powerful, would you like to learn the most powerful NLP model? I thought you would. In the description below, and also you'll find in the pinned comment, the comment at the top, there is a link, and that link will bring you to an enrollment page where you can join me next week, where I'll be doing a free live online training introducing you to the most powerful NLP model, where I will show you how it works and how you can apply it in your everyday life. If you're watching this video much later and that live training has already passed, you still want to find the link in the description and the link in the comments. I will leave something of great value for you there. The more clear you are about what it is you want, the more naturally you will gravitate toward it. We are hardwired to move away from confusion and chaos. But what most people are doing is they're more focused on what it is they don't want, because probably many hundreds, if not thousands of years ago, this is what caused us to survive. If we were focused on the things that could eat us or kill us, we probably survived. So we're the descendants of those early human beings, but we don't need that anymore. What works better for us now is to focus on what it is we do want and move in that direction. So if we're focused on what it is we don't want, and we're very clear about what it is we don't want, your unconscious takes this in and sees it as clarity and moves in that direction. So what you will find is you'll end up going back to, or you'll keep repeatedly going to the thing that you don't want, or at least you'll feel very stuck because you don't have a direction to go in the direction of what it is you don't want. So what is it that you're feeding your unconscious? If you're very clear about all the things that you don't want and how terrible it would be, well, that's what you're feeding your unconscious, and that's what your unconscious doesn't know that you want this or don't want this. It just sees clarity there. So like I said, it will move in that direction. Change this. Start focusing and getting very clear about what it is you do want, and you will naturally gravitate to it. You'll be feeding your unconscious, not just feeding it, you'll be nourishing your unconscious and showing in great detail and clarity what it is that you want, so it naturally brings you there. Now, I mentioned that this can be very powerful in sales and persuasion. What you need to do as a salesperson or someone who's persuading someone is build that vision for them. And one way that you can do that is to do the same line of questioning where you're asking someone a question, they tell you, and it has something to do with what it is they want, and then you go a little bit deeper. Well, what is important to you about that? And that's a wonderful question to ask someone. It also builds rapport. So when you show that interest in someone, now you're building rapport, but you're also getting them to think about their deeper values, and they're going to start giving you those answers. So when you start learning the deeper values of either your client, if they're a sales client, or someone you're wanting to persuade, then you can start directing what it is you want them to do using their values. Now, if you're going to do this, do it ethically and make sure that you're not deceiving them or persuading them and exploiting their values to get them to do things they don't really want to do, or that's not in their best interest. But when you use this right and it aligns with what it is you're selling, or it aligns with a grander vision that serves your interest and their interests, this is extremely powerful, powerfully persuasive, and influential. So again, once you're getting very clear about what it is that you want and you know what your values are and you're creating a vision out of that, then you want to start projecting that vision onto the world around you. And when you do that, you will start to see opportunities where you once saw limitation and lack and scarcity. Because you're projecting your values onto the world around you, that's what you start to see all around you, rather than the opposite. So when you're very focused on what it is you don't want, you will tend to project that onto the world around you so that you can stay away from it. But what you're avoiding is you're avoiding all of this. You're avoiding reality. You're looking at everything as being potentially hostile or potentially creating an experience for you that you don't want. And this will disconnect you and separate you from the world around you. This is exactly what you don't want. You want to connect with the world around you. You want to see possibility and opportunity in every situation. So if all of this sounds good to you and you're understanding it and this is something you want to do, you may also be wondering if I still do one-on-one coaching. And yes, I do. If you're interested in one-on-one coaching with me, go to lifemasterygym.com. There you will find a place to submit your inquiry for a free consultation. I do a 20-minute free consultation just to make sure that coaching is a good fit for you and for me. And then we move forward from there. So check that out if you want to do one-on-one coaching with me. Now that you have a process for getting much clearer about what it is that you want, you probably want to take this even deeper, and going deeper with this by learning the most powerful NLP model. It's called the self-concept model, and I'll be doing a live training next week, like I said, where I'll be introducing this model. I'll show you how it works and show you how you can apply it as well. So if you're not watching this at around the time that I'm doing this training, if you're watching this video much later, like I said, go to the description below and you find a link. There will be something of value there for you. If you are watching this video before the training, make sure you get in. It probably will fill up. So check the link down below, get in, enroll, make sure you show up early. What are you going to do now that you know this process? Are you actually going to use it? Are you going to elicit your values? Are you going to get much clearer about what it is that you want? One way that you can commit to yourself that you will do this process is by saying so in the comments below publicly. When you do that, when you write something and when you put it out there to other people, you're so much more likely to do it. If you like this video, click the like button and make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be notified when new videos come out. Leave me a comment, I will respond to you. And while you're down there, make sure you enroll in the free training that I'll be doing next week. And if you can think of someone who might like this video, make sure you share it with them. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.